This is Theory of Everything. Popular culture has always been our favorite, and knowing about them is another door to discover. Now, we will discover more about our famous animated movie from Pixar, Monsters Incorporated. We are going to give you the theory and facts across the Monsters world.
It's yours.
Disney Pixar has made so many animated movies that can warm our hearts with each story they tell. And one of the movies includes a city of Monstropolis. Monstropolis is where James Patrick Sullivan, aka Sully the Teddy Bear-like monster, and Mike Wazowski, the green one-eyed monster, lived. The city of Monstropolis itself is a monster world that is powered by energy from the screams of human children at the Monsters Incorporated. In 2001, Disney Pixar released an animated movie called Monsters, Inc., which was named after the factory that supplies energy for the entire city. About 12 years later, exactly in 2013, Disney Pixar again released a second movie named Monster University that tells the backstory behind the main characters from the first movie. It's mostly about Mike that didn't have enough scary things going on, actually. Well, since the fans can't get enough, Pixar yet again made an entire series about the monsters. Released in 2021, Monsters at Work finally made an appearance to the viewers' eyes, telling the aftermath of the disastrous incident that happened at the City of Monsters. Okay, now you all know all the movies and series, so let's take a closer look at the correct timeline for both movies and animated series. Even though Monster University was the second movie of the Monsters franchise, this movie was actually the first in order. Monsters University shows Mike Wazowski confronting the reality that he can never be a scarer. Even he still managed to find a successful career at Monsters, Inc. later. In the Monsters, Inc., Mike and Sully are basically inseparable, but that wasn't always the case. In the prequel, from the moment these two mismatched monsters met, they couldn't stand each other. Monsters University unlocks the door to how Mike and Sully overcame their differences and became the best of friends. Monsters University probably isn't Pixar's strongest movie. However, its message is one of the best we have seen in any animated film. No matter how hard you try, study, and want to do something, there are some things that you just can't do. This is a message that we don't hear very often, especially in animated movies. According to the right timeline, Monsters, Inc. was the next story after Monsters University. This happened after a few years they worked at Monsters Incorporated. This time, Sully has become a top scarer, and Mike was his assistant all along. Life seems to be on track for those two. But that's before they introduced none other than
Bill!
Yes, that's right.
A human kid!
Their life changed after they met Boo. This is where the Monsters world going to a significant change. As we mentioned before, the monsters in Monstropolis uses children's screams to power their city. In this case, Monster Incorporated as a power supply company, using their advanced technology to travel through doors to harvest the screams of children all around the world. Boo from Monsters, Inc. is a character who walked into the Monsters world accidentally. She was supposed to be abducted by Randall, the cunning top second scarer of Monsters, Inc. After finding out what Randall's plan towards Boo, Sully, who was eventually fell for Boo, realized that the scream wasn't the only source of power. The power of the laughter proved as the more powerful source of energy than scream. And this eventually changed the Monsters world forever. The scarer are no longer needed. The university major in scaring also must be reformed. And there's an increased needs for a jokester to harvest this new kind of energy source. This new dynamic is supposed to be featured in the newest installment of Monsters franchise. Reminiscing the success of Monsters, Inc. and Monsters University, Pixar decided to make another monster theme animation. This time, they made an animation series which is supposed to be the third in timeline order. So like we said, the show takes place right after the events of the original film, wherein which new Monster Inc. no longer gets their energy from scaring children, but instead for making them laugh. Mike and Sally are promoted to running the company and assuring the long continuation of new power to keep all of Monstropolis' power.
They're putting you two in charge.
You're kidding.
That's what I said.
Their new story here will be them dealing with all the problems around the change and preparing the scarers to become jokester. But these two aren't our real protagonists throughout the show. We start our new journey with Tyler Tasman, a top scorer at Monster University who even beat Sally's original scores. The problem is, the corporation no longer need of scarer, so Tyler's future in the company are uncertain.
They're hiring scarers?
And this is when the story lots its grips. We first follow Mike and Sally as they run the company to new direction, but albeit these two do play a large part in the series until at least episode 8. We also follow this new kid Tyler's struggles, forced to care and fall in love with his character, but we couldn't. It's not that Tyler's character was not likable, he's likable enough. We just didn't fall like we did with Sally and Wazowski. And of course, Boo.
Oh, it's coming! It's coming!
We might argue that Monster Inc. was a big hit because of its story and great animation. But we too couldn't deny that even we love seeing a hyper-enthusiastic Mike and a loosey-goosey Sally, we watch Monster Inc. because this little girl who didn't even have a full talking scene in the film. We just can't get enough with Boo. And we knew that in the first movie, Boo was introduced and became a game changer in the monsters world. And Sally, Mike, and Boo back then was technically a trio. Boo wasn't appearing in the second movie, obviously, but she also doesn't appear in the series, and that's the biggest missed opportunity. Pixar could satisfy fans' hunger for Boo, and while doing so, maybe provide an answer to a massive conspiracy that's surrounding this franchise since forever. Because for years, that's what fans kept speculating about. Where is Boo? Will we see her reunite with Sally? Will she search for Monsters World when she grows up? Is she really a witch and brave? How could she transport back to medieval era? Are every story in Pixar film form one parallel universe? The answer to those questions, or rather our answers to those questions, are safely crafted in the next segment. There are still plenty of Monsters Inc. related to Pixar universe that we will give you next in part 2. So, stay tuned!
Kitty.
Welcome back to the theory of everything. The thing about popular culture is there always something lies beneath it, starting from truth, facts, and rumors. And we know that you're all craving for those. Okay, so now let's get back to the story behind Monsters Incorporated franchise part 2. You knew! This popular kid character from Disney Pixar. That's right, it's Boo from Monsters Incorporated. Well, it's about time for us to know more about Boo from this moment, right? Because since her first appearance in Monsters Inc. first movie, she doesn't really appear anymore in the movie prequel Monsters University or even in the new Monster Inc. series, Monsters at Work. Well, at the ending of Monster Inc., we can see that Sally is back to visit Boo, but we doesn't know how much time has passed since the last time Boo's in the Monsters world. It's not like we're creepy or anything. Well, we just couldn't get enough of her cuteness. There are theories from fans about Boo's whereabouts. It started from the movie Brave. Do you remember the witch from Brave? You probably never wondered why this old lady is related to Boo. It actually wasn't that easy to notice, but hardcore fans seem pretty convinced that the witch is actually Boo. Let's take a further look. Do you see something there? If you miss it, let's just slow it down a bit. See right there. Do you know what is carved on the wooden face? It appeared to look like a bear-like monsters we know and love, James P. Sullivan. So this Boo as a witch theory has become popular among the Pixar fans. Speculation that arises from nerdist obsession and conspiracy seeker from everything in popular related fandom. That is why this cute little toddler from Monster Inc. came to association with this wretched witch character from Brave. People insisted that the clues are everywhere. First, from the fact that Brave is the first Disney princess who actually not Disney's. She made by Pixar, even when later Disney brought Pixar. So she shared the same universe with Monsters World. And not to mention the witch obsession with bears. You do realize that Sally resembles bears, right? That is why fans think that the witch is actually Boo. But if this theory was real, fans begin to think how on Pixar Earth can Boo turn into a witch? Do I miss something from the other Pixar movies? This theory is pretty ridiculous since the movie Brave obviously happened like few thousand years back, before Monsters Inc. Still, it doesn't really make any sense that Boo turns into a witch. But if she is really a witch, how does she change into a witch? In 2022, the answers were right in front of our eyes. In another Pixar movie, Turning Red. An interesting fan theory involved in this Pixar's newest film, Turning Red, and how it might possibly connect to the Monsters Inc. universe. Specifically, it might prove that Boo ended up growing up and becoming friends with May.
Chill. May?
Fans are starting to think that May's friend Abby is actually Boo from Monsters Inc. This theory came when fans began to notice a lot of similarities that are shared between the two characters. They share almost everything from early similar personalities to even their looks. Not to mention the fact that Abby's reaction towards seeing her best friend May in the form of a giant red panda was nearly identical to the way that Boo reacted towards Sully in Monsters Inc. The two characters even seem to have been designed with the same color palette. They are both seen wearing a lot of pink and purple clothing and accessories. Abby is a 13-year-old girl who is seen as being both chaotic and fun-loving. The two attributes often go hand in hand. She was accepting of May from the second they met. Abby even stuck by her when it was revealed that May could turn herself into a red panda. Some might say that she stuck by her even more as Abby couldn't seem to be able to resist the panda's fluffiness. While Boo is practically the same person as Abby, who is shown to be fearless when it comes to being faced by a giant sharp-toothed blue monster, despite his scary demeanor. When it comes to Sully, all she could see was his fluffy exterior. Throughout Monsters Inc., we saw Boo get quite emotional and excited at times. We even saw her get violent when she finally had the opportunity to confront Randall, the monster who had been tormenting her. She smacked him so hard that he couldn't help but shift colors with each hit. Now you tell me you can picture Abby doing that to protect her friends. Abby felt no fear when she was face to face with a giant red panda that had the same voice as her best friend May.
You're so fluffy!
Theory suggests that Abby might have been particularly fearless in this case after forming such a strong bond with a similar creature in her past when she met Sully as a child. Fans also made a point to mention how similar both Boo and Abby look. When it comes down to their core character design, both of the characters have very similar faces, not only in the general shape of the face, but also in the features. Also, do you remember the pattern of Boo's door in Monster Inc? It was a purple door with flowers on it. Well, take a look at Abby's purple overalls. They also have flowers scattered all over them. Now, Abby and Boo being the same person might actually have some major implications on other Pixar theories that already exist and add a lot of support to them being true. As we saw in Turning Red, everyone found out that May could transform into a red panda, and Abby will know to some extent that magic was real. Well, what if after discovering that magic was real, Abby, aka Boo, would have become obsessed with studying witchcraft in hopes of using magic to reunite with her long-lost friend Sally? The theories didn't stop there. After developing an affinity for magic, people began to speculate that Boo had learned to time travel as a part of her witchcraft, and soon after, it became a popular theory that Boo was actually the person who was traveling throughout all of the Pixar films, including Brave. Turning Red could be the answer for now to how can Boo become a witch. It's kinda makes sense that somehow Boo learns how to time travel with her power in a search of her fluffy friend, Sally. Well, she does have a great power to charge the whole Monster City with her laugh. Well, that is all from Monsters Incorporated, and the final answer about the Boo's whereabouts. It's fun, right? To speculate about the theory even when we didn't know if it was true or not. Now, after all the theories you find out, do you still want more? Before that, give us your feedback and see you in another pop cultural moment.
When life gets you down, you know what you gotta do?
I don't want to know what you gotta do.
Just keep swimming, just keep swimming.
Just keep swimming, just keep swimming. As Pixar or Disney fans, you must be familiar with that line. Yup, it's the line from Dory, one of the most well-known fictional characters in Finding Nemo.
Friend, good feelings gone. I gotta find my son Nemo!
Have you ever wondered what exactly Finding Nemo is all about? And who played Dory? A blue tank fish that suffers short-term memory loss? Let's find the answer on the Theory of Everything.
Will you quit it?
What?
I'm trying to swim here. What, the ocean isn't big enough for you or something like that? You got a problem, buddy?
On this program, we will make a breakdown about unsolved mysteries from the past, also a theory that revolves around your favorite song, or maybe about your favorite TV shows. So, stay tuned. As another Pixar and Disney masterpiece, do you know that the team behind Finding Nemo has to do years of research in oceanography before they enter in the production process? Or do you realize that the film actually wanted to raise about single parenthood issues for its audience? Let's find out more about it only on Theory of Everything. Spoiler alert! For those of you who haven't watched Finding Nemo before, there will be a lot of spoilers ahead. So, please don't get offended for it, okay? Finding Nemo is the story of a father-son relationship where an overprotective father, Marlin, travels to Sydney in search of his son Nemo. Before he got lost, Nemo was sent to school but elopes on the first day, thereby touching the bottom of the boat. This starts an argument between Nemo and his father. Eventually, Nemo is captured by a scuba diver and taken away in the boat. Together with Dory, a blue tank fish with short-term memory loss, Marlin set off through the oceans, whilst joining a club with sharks, dodging jellyfish, and hooking a ride with turtles to find Nemo. Whilst this is happening, Nemo was handed to a dentist, who then put him forcefully into a fish tank in his office in Sydney Harbour. Nemo then met a group of fish called the Tank Gang in the tank. Gil, a crafty and ambitious Moorish idolfish, is the leader. The fish come to know that Nemo will be given to the dentist's niece Darla, who killed a patfish previously by shaking a pack of water. Thus, start the journey of Nemo trying to escape with the help of Gil and Nigel the pelican. The 2003 animated film is written by Andrew Stanton and directed by Stanton and Leon Creech under the production of Pixar Animation Studios for Walt Disney Pictures. The overly protective and timid clownfish father has been voiced by Albert Brooks, while the clownfish son has been voiced by Alexander Grohl. The movie witnesses the different risks that Marlin learns to take and also find that Nemo is capable enough to take good care of himself. Finding Nemo are filled with so many interesting main characters, some of which are Dory. Voiced by an Emmy-winning comedian Ellen DeGeneres, Dory is a blue tank fish who just swims absent-mindedly through life and has a good time. After meeting Marlin, she's tremendously sympathetic about his predicament, so she offers to help find Nemo. The companions travel a great distance, encountering various dangerous sea creatures such as sharks and jellyfish, in order to rescue Nemo from the dentist of his tank. As supporting characters, there is Crash. Crash was voiced by the director of the film himself, Andrew Stanton. He is a sea turtle who speaks in the manner of a surfer dude.
Oh my goodness!
Whoa, kill the motor, dude. Let us see what Squirt does flying solo.
Another interesting character is Bruce.
Name's Bruce. It's all right, I understand. Why trust a shark, right?
When he first met Marlin and Dory during their journey to find Nemo, Marlin was pretty freaked out, but Dory seems to think that the shark is cool, mostly because she can remember whether or not she should be afraid of sharks. Voiced by Barry Humphries, Bruce is a great white shark. He is the leader of the fish-friendly shark support group. His slogan is "Fish are friends, not food."
Fish are friends, not food.
Except stinking dolphins.
Finding Nemo has taught us many things about parenting issues from the depiction of its characters, some of which are Darla, the 8-year-old niece of Philip Sherman, a dentist. Although she is not truly evil, she often becomes overexcited when she receives spat fish, which ironically has frequently resulted in her accidentally killing them in her excitement. This might not be happening if Darla always on her parents' observation. Another example for parenting lessons in Finding Nemo was depicted on Marlin as the father of Nemo himself. Due to Nemo being the only child of single parent, Marlin became wildly overprotective, especially since Nemo has a weak fin and is terrified to let him out of his sight.
Clearly you're not ready and you're not coming back until you are. You think you can do these things, but you just can't, Nemo!
I hate you.
That leads to disaster when Nemo, frustrated about endless rules, defied the rules and swims away. Eventually, after his trip across the ocean to rescue Nemo, Marlin realized he needs to learn to trust his son. The film has taught us that the overprotective parents often lead to children rebelling, which is considered a divine act. The screenplay for Finding Nemo was written by Andrew Stanton. He got the inspiration from the relationship with his son. One day, when he took his son to the park, he had been working long hours and felt guilty about not spending enough time with him. He then came with the premise of the film that fear can deny a good father from being one. Another interesting theories from Finding Nemo are the behind-the-scenes story. Even with more advanced technology in the making compared to its computer-animated film predecessors, Finding Nemo still has met a lot of challenges. In the animation process, to ensure that the movement of the fish in the film were believable, the animators took a crash course in fish biology and oceanography. They visited aquariums, went diving in Hawaii, and received in-house lectures from ichthyologists. As a result, Pixar's animator for Dory, Ginny Crass Santos, integrated the fish movement, human movement, and facial expression to make them look and feel like real characters. There is also an interesting story about the dentist's address where Nemo were trapped. When Marlin and Dory tried to rescue Nemo, they discovered a diver's mask that fell from the same boat that took Nemo from the ocean. On the mask, written an address that surprisingly remembered by Dory and became the clue to find Nemo. There is a rumor that P. Sherman, 42 Willoughby Way, Sydney is a real Sydney orthodontics address. There is a picture of it circulating on the internet. Have you been in Sydney and saw this address before? Please, let us know if you found Nemo on that address. During its original theatrical run, Finding Nemo grossed $339.7 million in the United States and Canada, and $531.3 million in other territories, for a worldwide total of $871 million. It was the second highest grossing film of 2003. Finding Nemo also defeated The Matrix Reloaded to become the highest grossing film of the 2003 summer season. Finding Nemo gained Pixar its first Best Animated Feature award from the Academy that year, against Brother Bear and the Triplets of Belleville, and rightfully so. A spin-off sequel to this film was released in June 2016, titled Finding Dory. It focuses on Dory having a journey to reunite with her parents. Like the previous film, Finding Dory was a financial success and fared well with critics.
I lost my family.
That is so sad. You weren't not a great swimmer.
So, have you ever watched the films? What is your favorite characters from the franchise? Leave your reply on the comment section, and also don't forget to give us any feedback. We still have plenty theories to break down, so make sure to come back tomorrow for more theory of everything.